household name before she tragically and mysteriously died in a plane crash in 2001. However,
He tragically and mysteriously died in a plane crash in 2001. That is crazy.
she was also famous.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Flynn. We back at it with a video. Before we start, make like, subscribe on YouTube. You know the vibes. Diddy is going crazy, bro. He is going crazy.
And J Lo. Now here's another one with Jay-Z in this back this time. Same party from decades ago, by the way. Or check out this one with all the big deviant on Diddy's infamous white book. These still pictures are from one of Diddy's early parties. Parties which recent lawsuits show are an avenue to traffic and abuse minors. They provide proof with pictures that in the modern day, his parties still involve minors and sex workers. But what about Jay-Z? Is he still down with that life? Some rumors say that he's worse than Diddy. Well, let's find out. Diddy, J-Lo, and Jay-Z. With Diddy behind bars, many secrets are coming to the surface. And now, even Jay-Z and J-Lo have been implicated in Diddy's crimes. Internet sleuths have been doing some digging.
Internet
It seems
sleuths.
the two have some questions to answer. One of the first clues was 50 Cent insinuating that Jay-Z was avoiding Diddy after his houses were raided by the feds a few months back. According to 50, Jay-Z wasn't picking up Diddy's calls.
Jay-Z ain't answering the phone?
He inquired about Jay-Z's whereabouts amidst Diddy's troubles. In a post Fifth shared on Instagram, Jay's face is on a milk carton with the caption, "Anybody seen Jay? LOL." Puff said that ain't answering his phone. In another post, 50 Cent posted an image of Jay-Z and captioned it, "Here's Jay-Z, last reported seen waving at Puffy's jet." 50 Cent was referring to the rumor that Puff had fled the country on his private jet. Diddy and 50 Cent are industry besties, and they don't try to hide it. So when Diddy was arrested, the internet knew that Jay-Z would be implicated in his crime, and the evidence that netizens have unearthed shows that Jay-Z may have known and even taken part in Diddy's freak-offs. Hours after Diddy was put in cuffs, these photos featuring Jay-Z, Diddy, J-Lo, and Aaliyah went viral. Aaliyah was a household name before she tragically and mysteriously died in a plane crash in 2001. However,
He tragically and mysteriously died in a plane crash in 2001. That is crazy.
she was also Diddy and Jay-Z's industry buddy, R. Kelly. In 1994, when R. Kelly was 27, he secretly married the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah. The ceremony took place in Chicago, and the marriage was shrouded in secrecy. Vibe magazine later uncovered that Aaliyah had lied about her age on the wedding certificate, listing herself as 18. The marriage was annulled in February 1995, but the scandal stained Kelly's reputation. The circumstances surrounding the marriage were even more disturbing. A former tour manager for Kelly testified at his trial that he had bribed a government worker in 1994 to obtain a fake ID for Aaliyah, enabling the illegal marriage. Despite the annulment, Aaliyah's career flourished, and she often dodged questions about her relationship with Kelly. Ironically, Kelly wrote and produced Aaliyah's debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Despite knowing that his friend R. Kelly had taken advantage of Aaliyah, Jay-Z still tried to get with her. And just like R. Kelly, Jay-Z has also been caught up in rumors of getting with underage girls. And one rumor that has caught on is his affair with Foxy Brown. Jay-Z's controversial relationship with Foxy Brown, a rising star in the music industry, started when she was just 16 years old and he was 27. The disturbing nature of this relationship is further compounded by reports that Jay-Z paid Foxy Brown a significant amount of money to keep their relationship a secret. This revelation was later confirmed by Jay-Z's longtime friend and former business partner, Dame Dash, who got defensive when asked about Jay and Foxy's affair.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed? I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown. But I didn't sign Foxy Brown. I know you did. I'm just asking a question. Because I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody. You the boss. Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want to say. What do you mean by that question? I was just asking. What do you insinuate? I'm not insinuating. I was asking.
Despite Dame Dash being defensive about the Foxy Brown question, Nick went ahead and spoke his mind and blew the scandal wide open.
I thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
Diddy, Jay-Z, and R. Kelly have a lot in common because in one of the lawsuits filed against Diddy by his former producer, Lil Rod, there are allegations that Diddy was messing around with underage girls. Lil Rod accused Diddy of engaging in sexual misconduct, forcing drug use, and grooming. It is claimed that Diddy regularly partied with sex workers and underage girls, requiring them to sign non-disclosure agreements. Even Diddy's neighbors revealed that underage girls would be brought to the house in busloads at 3 in the morning.
Tell us stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. He be like buses, like big ass buses. He see all type of shit pop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. I'm in favor.
And it turns out Diddy and Jay-Z have even more in common. They both might be gay. According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Diddy was sleeping with male celebrities.
He said they both might be gay. Hey, yo, nah, Diddy is out here turning people out. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Such as Usher, Meek Mill, and Stevie J. One excerpt from the lawsuit reads, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper, redacted, R&B singer, redacted, and Stevie J. In the footnotes, the description for Rapper 5 reads, he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, and the description for the R&B singer 6 reads, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Well, Meek Mill is from Philly, and he dated fellow rapper Nicki Minaj from 2014 to 2016. An insider at E! News attributed the split to constant fighting. They were fighting on and off for a little while about a few topics that upset Nicki. They had a bigger fight and then called it quits, the source said. But what about the R&B singer mentioned in the lawsuit? The lawsuit says that the singer in question performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Las Vegas residency. Everyone's eyes turned to Usher, who fit the description. In 2024, performed at the Super Bowl, and in 2022, he had a successful Las Vegas residency titled. Jay-Z has also faced allegations of being gay, and one of the people who exposed him was none other than 50 Cent. According to Fifth, Jay is trying hard to look like a famous gay painter.
You image yourself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
His remarks alluded that Jay-Z was mirroring the looks of Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat was a famous painter who, despite openly having had romantic relationships with many women, including Madonna, was known to be gay. And looking at Jay-Z's now look, it's hard to dispute 50 Cent's claim. And if you're wondering where J-Lo fits into all this, you're in for a big surprise. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez were once dating. However, the couple split in 2001 after 2 years together. In a 2003 interview with Vibe, Lopez opened up about why they went their separate ways, telling the outlet that Diddy wasn't faithful to her. I never caught him cheating, but I just knew. He'd say he was going to a club for a couple of hours and then never came back that night, she recalled. I had to think, do I want to be home with kids in 10 years wondering where somebody is at 3 in the morning? Despite their breakup, the two have remained close friends, even going live on Instagram together during the pandemic. Many people on the internet claim that J-Lo knew all along what Diddy was up to, but she was covering for him. Lopez has been caught covering for Diddy once and saved the Bad Boy Records founder years in prison. This is none other than the infamous 1999 club shooting, the Diddy and J-Lo club shooting.
I want to say to you all face to face, I had nothing to do with a shooting that night in a nightclub, nor did Jennifer.
Obviously, nobody really wants to be arrested or handcuffed or, go through all that kind of stuff. It's a really traumatic experience.
For many, the 1999 club shooting involving Diddy and his then-girlfriend J-Lo was settled as Diddy was not found guilty of anything. However, the new Lil Rod lawsuit paints a different picture. In terms of Shine, Diddy's 19-year-old rap protege was unfairly sentenced. So what exactly does the Lil Rod lawsuit reveal about the incident that took place over 2 decades ago? According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Diddy bragged about the shooting and how he got away with it.
Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation.
Lil Rod isn't the only person spilling the beans on the incident. As it turns out, the victim of Diddy's shooting has been trying to tell the world that the music mogul shot her for years. However, her testimony has fallen on deaf ears for over 2 decades.
You have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you.
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose.
So what exactly happened that night, and how did Diddy get away with it? On December 27, 1999, Diddy and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez had been celebrating a soon-to-be-released album by Shine, Diddy's 21-year-old protege, at Midtown's Club New York. The night started like any other glamorous evening in Manhattan, with Diddy and J-Lo enjoying the vibrant nightlife. But as Diddy's entourage was leaving, carrying a bottle of champagne, he accidentally bumped into one of the club's patrons, knocking a drink out of his hand. The man, Matthew Allen, a street tough known as Scar, responded with a shove. Things escalated as one of Allen's companions allegedly threw a stack of money in Diddy's face.
Puffy and Shine allegedly got into an argument with another partier shortly before 3 a.m. Someone tossed a wad of cash at Combs as a sign of disrespect. Suddenly, all hell broke loose.
Suddenly, gunshots shattered the air, cutting through the music and plunging the club into chaos. Amidst the chaos, 3 innocent bystanders found themselves caught in the crossfire. Bullets struck 2 men and a woman. The woman, shot in the face, was rushed to hospital. As the wounded were rushed to the hospital, law enforcement descended upon the scene, determined to restore order and bring the perpetrators to justice. The nightclub, once a symbol of glamour and excess, now stood as a haunting reminder of the violence that had unfolded within its walls. Diddy and J-Lo were detained after a gun was found in their car as they left the nightclub.
The gun was discovered in the vehicle. At that point, a sergeant on the scene ordered everyone who was in the vehicle under arrest.
Police charged Sean Puffy Combs and Jennifer Lopez with felony gun possession.
The vehicle was stopped after it fled the scene and jumped a set of red lights. The gun was found lying in the car and was identified as one that had been reported stolen in Georgia. Car had a license for the gun. The couple were both charged with criminal possession of stolen property. Police arrested and questioned the couple after eyewitness claims that Combs fired a gun after a dispute at Club NY. Shine was also arrested and charged with criminal possession of a firearm. However, in 2001, a Manhattan jury acquitted the hip-hop mogul of all charges brought against him, including 4 counts of illegal possession of a gun and 1 count of bribery. But this is where the story gets a little more interesting. Shine, Diddy's protege, was found guilty of 5 of the 8 charges against him. Apart from that, Wardell Fenderson, who was Diddy's driver that night, testified that he didn't pull over right away and fled from the cops because the rapper shouted at him not to stop. After the chauffeur was stopped by police who found a gun in the car, Diddy offered Fenderson $50,000 and a diamond pinky ring to say the weapon was his.
Fenderson testified that Combs was armed the night of the shooting at Club New York and later pressured him to claim ownership of a pistol police found when they pulled over Combs' Lincoln Navigator as it fled the shooting.
Rapper Shine has also maintained that Diddy threw him under the bus. According to Shine, Diddy's legal team called a witness to the stand to testify against him.
It's not a matter of, turning your back on me. Like, how do you call a witness to testify against your comrade?
The witness that Shine was talking about was Sharice Myers, a bouncer at the nightclub. According to Myers, when the shooting started, she fell on top of Diddy and that the music mogul didn't have a gun with him at the club. However, what she said next drove the last nail in Shine's coffin.
But even as her testimony helped exonerate Puffy, it implicated Shine. Myers told jurors that it was Shine who first opened fire inside the club, letting off 2 shots toward the ceiling. Shine's lawyers conceded that their client fired his gun, but only in self-defense.
Diddy has long maintained that he didn't throw Shine under the bus despite a lot of evidence to the contrary.
I did not force anybody or tell anybody to say anything that would damage or hurt Shine's case.
And now, after decades, Shine still maintains that Diddy set him up and sent him to prison.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. And he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
But if you think that this is the only time Lopez covered for Diddy, then wait till you hear about the sexual assault cases against the music mogul. The Diddy and J-Lo conspiracy. Although Diddy and Lopez are close friends despite being exes, Lopez has never said anything bad about Diddy. This is very strange, given that before they met, Diddy had already sexually assaulted multiple women. Diddy also faces assault cases dating back to shortly after his relationship with J-Lo ended. Is it possible that Diddy's relationship with J-Lo was the only one that wasn't problematic? Maybe. However, netizens have already decided that Lopez is covering up for Diddy. One piece of evidence netizens have to prove their theory is that Lil Rod's lawsuit details incidents that Diddy was already participating in the early 1990s. According to Lil Rod, Diddy had been secretly recording explicit sex tapes of various celebrities and politicians using hidden cameras strategically placed throughout his lavish homes during his notorious freak-off parties. While living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his homes, the lawsuit read. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs has recordings of defendants Lucian Charles, Grain, Ethiopia, Haptomariam, as well as other celebrities, music label executives, politicians, and athletes. Lil Rod alleged these individuals were recorded without their knowledge or consent, making the situation even more disturbing. These individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent, and as is the case with the homosexual sex tape of Stevie J that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Upon information and belief, due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and is untouchable, the lawsuit read. It turns out that Diddy was already doing this in the early 1990s. A woman called Joy Dickerson Neal filed a lawsuit in November 2023, alleging Diddy had sexually assaulted her and recorded the incident. Joy Dickerson Neal was part of the same social circle as Diddy. Their paths crossed professionally when they both appeared in the music video for Straight from the Soul by Finesse and Sinquis. Despite Diddy's persistent advances, Joy consistently rejected him, maintaining a professional distance. However, Joy reluctantly agreed to an early dinner with Diddy on January 3rd, 1991, while on school break for the holidays. They chose to dine at the famous Wells Restaurant in Harlem, a beloved establishment known as the home of chicken and waffles since 1938. Joy needed to use the restroom during dinner and left her drink unattended. She alleges that this seemingly harmless moment gave Diddy the perfect opportunity to spike her drink. Unaware of what had happened, Joy returned to the table and continued the evening. After dining, Diddy insisted that Joy accompany him as he attended to a few things in the city. Reluctantly, she agreed, getting into his car, a decision that would haunt her for years. As they drove through the city, Diddy produced a blunt and asked Joy to take a hit, to which she reluctantly agreed. From then on, her memory becomes hazy, a blur of fragmented images and sensations. Joy alleges that Diddy had intentionally...
Diddy out here lacing blunts? Yo, Diddy, you out here lacing spliffs? Not only are you lacing drinks, you out here lacing spliffs. Nah. Predator.
drugged her, leaving her in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk. Diddy drove to a place he was staying, where the night took an even darker turn. Joy alleges that it was here, in a place where she should have felt safe, that Diddy sexually assaulted her. However, the nightmare was far from over. Joy soon discovered that Diddy had secretly recorded the incident without her knowledge or consent. Devontae Swing, a mutual friend, allegedly told her that Diddy had shown him the tape. The worst part is that Diddy showed everyone the tape, according to Devontae. However, according to Lil Rod's lawsuit, recording his victims wasn't the only thing Diddy was doing in the 1990s and 2023. Lil Rod accused Diddy of drugging him and sexually assaulting him together with other men. Lil Rod alleged that during one of Diddy's infamous drug-rampant parties, he was drugged and Lil Rod recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused in bed with Diddy and two sex workers. And it turns out Lil Rod wasn't the only victim. Another Doe also came forward the same day as Joy with a disturbing account of her encounter with Diddy. Jane Doe's lawsuit paints a horrifying picture of coercion and sexual assault, implicating not only Diddy, but also singer Aaron Hall. According to the lawsuit, Jane Doe and a friend attended an MCA event in 1990 or 1991, where Diddy and Aaron Hall extended an invitation to an after-party. Upon arriving at Aaron Hall's apartment, Jane Doe alleges that Diddy coerced her into engaging in sexual acts against her will. However, the situation took a sinister turn when Aaron Hall forcefully entered the room, pinning her down and subjecting her to... But the horror didn't end there. In another room, Jane Doe claims that both Diddy and Aaron Hall forced her friend to engage in sexual acts as well. Even more disturbing is that the lawsuit details an incident that occurred 2 days after the alleged assault. Fearing that his then-girlfriend would discover the truth, Diddy reportedly went to the home where Jane Doe and her friend were staying and allegedly choked Jane Doe until she lost consciousness. That wasn't the only gang Diddy was involved in, as he, along with former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harve Pierre, was accused of a similar crime by an unnamed Jane Doe when she was just a 17-year-old high school student. According to court documents obtained by media outlets, the plaintiff Jane Doe claims that the incident occurred in 2003. She alleges that Harve Pierre approached her at a lounge in Michigan, claiming to be best friends with Diddy. To prove their relationship, Pierre called Diddy, and the woman alleges that Pierre and Diddy convinced her to take a private jet to Daddy's house recording studio, owned and operated by Diddy himself. The lawsuit includes photos that Jane Doe claims were taken at the studio that night, including one showing her sitting on Diddy's lap. According to the lawsuit, once at the studio, Diddy, Pierre, and an unidentified third assailant plied Jane Doe with drugs and alcohol. They then allegedly subjected her to a vicious and horrifying gang. The suit describes the incident as part of a sex trafficking scheme, with the defendants exploiting a vulnerable high school teenager and transporting her by private jet to New York City, where the assault took place. All these incidents prove that J-Lo must have known something about Diddy since he was a monster before and after their relationship. But what is even more strange is that most of the women in Diddy's life have come out to expose him, while others, such as Kim Porter, have died under mysterious circumstances. On November 15, 2018, the world mourned the passing of Kim Porter. Initially, her cause of death was reported as pneumonia. However, the first coroner's report ruled her death as a homicide, citing the presence of toxins in her body. Kim Porter was in the process of writing a book before her untimely demise, leading many to believe that she was about to expose him before she was killed. Another one of Diddy's exes, Gina Huyn, accused him of physically abusing her on multiple occasions. According to Gina, their relationship was tumultuous and filled with abuse. She described how Diddy would stomp and hit her, leaving her mentally, emotionally, and physically scarred. One of the most harrowing incidents Hine described was when Diddy allegedly stomped on her stomach with such force that it knocked the wind out of her.
He like stomped on my stomach like really hard, and I like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe. He took my hair and like was dragging me across like the grass in my hair with my hair.
This horrifying account is just one example of the physical abuse Queen claims to have suffered at the hands of Diddy. She also alleged that he grabbed her by the hair and punched the back of her head repeatedly.
So I was like laying on my back, and he stood over me, and he started like punching me like this. Like he avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head, and I was just like covering my face.
Was Jennifer Lopez covering up for Diddy for all these years, or did the Bad Boy Records executive treat her differently from other women in his life? We may never know, but as we wait for his case to start, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.
We begin with breaking news. Reports that a Holmby Hills mansion linked to music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was raided by Homeland Security agents.
Disturbing allegations take center stage as grainy footage of kids in Diddy's raided house is said to change everything we know about the hip-hop